presents part 2 of the Premium Oddscast, where leading MMA Oddsmaker Nick Kalikas offers his premium bets for upcoming mixed martial arts events. Get the best bets straight from the source as part of MMA OddsBreaker.com's premium betting service. Welcome to part 2 of the Premium Oddscast. I'm MMA journalist Brian Heminger, joined today by leading MMA oddsmaker and founder of MMA OddsBreaker.com, Nick Kalikas. We're going to be giving away the premium bets for UFC on Fox 9 in a minute, but just a quick reminder, please follow @Premium Oddscast on Twitter. We gave away free play via that account last night, which we'll break down in a few minutes. Since starting up this new podcast, we're 2-0 on both UFC events thus far, winning big on both shows. I went into more detail in part 1 of the Premium Oddscast Thursday night, and every bet we've offered is available via betting recaps and in our track record at MMAOddsBreaker.com, so no need to completely rehash everything. Now back to business, UFC on Fox 9 goes down tonight in Sacramento, and it's a very interesting card, almost exclusively featuring fights at lightweight and lower. Now let's get our plays for tonight's UFC on Fox 9 event. We'll start with this upcoming lightweight battle between Pat Healy and Bobby Green. Now, what's our play here, Nick?
Well, as we discussed on part 1 of the Premium Oddscast, I mean, this is a toss-up fight in my opinion, and a lot like the fight with Correa and Kedzie that we bet last time on the dog in Correa, because we figured that it was going to be a toss-up fight and there's plus money value on the dog. So I think it's the same case here. Green, I think, is going to be able to make things interesting with his speed, with his capability to scramble, get out of bad spots, and he has the better stand-up. He could be a little bit more effective, I think, with that speed and with that power. I even think that there's a good chance he gets top position in this fight during some scrambles or gets a takedown or two himself. But I am expecting a very close fight. Like we said, we picked Healy straight out on the podcast, but as far as a bet goes, I have to recommend a bet on Green here in this spot.
All right, excellent. And I agree on most part here, just because I think we've seen what Green's capable of doing in there. He lands really quick kicks that are difficult to grab onto. He does a lot of damage with body kicks, leg kicks. As long as he avoids the low blows, I think he's got a really good shot of outpointing Healy on the feet, as long as he can keep his distance, use that speed to stay off of him. Now, one more fight from the prelims that we're going to be playing is the Court McGee-Ryan LaFleur fight. So, what do you like here, Nick?
Man, another really competitive fight here that realistically could go either way, but I do find some value at the pick and price with LaFleur. I think his wrestling, his power is going to come into play here. On the feet, I know that Court McGee could be active and might have the better pure boxing, but overall I think LaFleur could be the more effective striker. And I'd like his combination of mixing things up with his stand-up and transitioning to takedowns, and really he's got good ground and pound, good ground game overall. So I think LaFleur more times than not should win a decision. So this is where we're going to go with it. LaFleur has the power also in his back pocket to possibly stop a guy like McGee. McGee's been rocked in several fights, and even though LaFleur hasn't finished yet in the UFC, I think he's more than capable of possibly landing something and finishing McGee. But more than that, so I think LaFleur is going to win by decision. So got to bet LaFleur here in this spot.
I fell in love with LaFleur a little bit doing the film study. The guy is a terrific athlete. He's capable of getting inside and taking his opponent down, whether it's a trip takedown, a single leg, a double leg. He's a very technical wrestler. And on the feet, he's not too shabby. He can technically hang with people. He's got pretty good defensive movement. And, I think he throws some good leg kicks. I think that as long those brief exchanges that he stays standing with McGee, I think he'll be able to hold his own. So, and that's where McGee's most dangerous, at least at this point in his career. So, I completely agree here, Nick. And now we're moving on to the main card. This is a play that very interesting, really compelling battle. Michael McDonald taking on Uriah Faber in the bantamweight division, the co-main event of UFC on Fox 9. Now, what do we like here, Nick?
Man, another fantastic fight, and really hard to go against a guy like Uriah Faber with all the stuff that he brings to the table. He's a complete fighter, well-rounded, has the wrestling advantage in this fight, but I still got to go with the young gun here. I think McDonald's power and his ability to finish fights is going to come into play. I mean, eventually Faber is going to hit that decline. He's looked pretty solid recently, but I'm expecting it to be a bad spot for him. I think McDonald's going to do better than people think about keeping this fight up, and if it does stay up on the feet, even though I know Faber's a very capable fighter. I mean, he's got the speed advantage. He could definitely land on McDonald. I think McDonald's going to probably land something hard on the feet and finish off Faber. If it does hit the deck, I mean, I think Faber does have a clear edge as far as wrestling and grappling, but McDonald always dangerous off his back as well, so can't necessarily count that out. But overall, I do like McDonald with the value here in this spot, plus money. I think he gets the job done.
And part of getting it right with these guys as they age, Uriah Faber is 34, is finding that perfect little zone where they go into a fight where, it all catches up to them. And Faber has had some really good performances lately, but, he got rocked pretty bad against Yuri Alcantara, and I think Michael McDonald is much more powerful than Alcantara, and I think he can pull this off. He really is. He's got that youth, he's got the speed, he's got the power. And if he connects with his fists, I think Faber's going to be in a lot of trouble. So I like this play as well. Now, our final premium play for the card is the main event: Demetrious Johnson taking on Joseph Benavidez for the UFC flyweight title. What's our play here?
Well, another awesome fight. I mean, this fight last time, of course, they fought for the title, went to split decision. I necessarily don't agree with that. I think the DJ won clearly, and I think the DJ is the better fighter. Now, Benavidez is talented. He's got the power edge. He's definitely the best 125-pounder out there, except if he matches up with DJ. I think that Demetrious Johnson's just the better fighter. So I know a lot of people are kind of picking Benavidez out there. I'm going to go the other way. And I think there is some value on Johnson because, in my opinion, he should have won that by unanimous decision last time instead of the split decision. Now, this is going to be a competitive fight. I understand that the judges could butcher this. We're going to go a little bit smaller on our play with DJ in case the judges mess this up. But realistically, again, more times than not, I think DJ is the more complete fighter, and he's just a difficult matchup for Benavidez. So got to side with DJ here. That's my pick, and that's going to be our bet.
So 2 for 2 with our anti-team alpha male picks in Sacramento. Very gutsy, but I agree. Johnson clearly beat him the last time, and I really think that while Benavidez's hands are better, Johnson has significantly improved too. People are completely discounting how much better Demetrious Johnson has gotten since the last meeting too. He had extremely great performance coming back against Dodson, and then that last fight against Moraga was pretty one-sided. He looked amazing. So, as long as he can avoid getting knocked out by Benavidez, I think he's in a really good place here. And we gave out a free play last night via our premium Oddscast account and via our email alerts picks at MMAOddsBreaker.com. Now, what was our free play last night, Nick, in case anybody didn't get it and they want to tail it?
Well, the free play I really like as well. It combines two totals. The good thing now is that some of these sportsbooks are actually offering parlays on totals, so we can combine a couple things out there and pick our spots. And this is exactly what we did here with this free play. We're going to take DJ and Benavidez over, 4.5 rounds. So the main event, the title fight, we're going over 4.5 rounds, and we're going to combine that with Makovsky and Jorgensen over 2.5 rounds. I think both fights are going to be extremely competitive, and I realistically see both fights going to decision. So I think over 4.5 and over 2.5 combined, we're getting them at plus 113. I think there is value in that, and we gave out a free play at 3 units at the premium Oddscast.
And looking at what these guys are capable of in their fights, the last time Johnson Benavidez fought, they went the full 5 rounds. In all of Johnson's title defenses so far, against Dodson and against Moraga, he's gone over 4.5 rounds. Even with the stoppage against Moraga, it was still over 4.5 rounds. So that seems like a smart play there. And then of course Jorgensen Makovsky. Jorgensen just had an over 2.5 round fight against Uriah Faber of all people, and then Makovsky was just went 5 rounds a few weeks ago for the RFA title. So seems like a safe play there, and completely agree with it as well. So hopefully you guys are all tailing our plays. And that will do it for all of our plays for UFC on Fox 9. So for myself, Brian Heminger, and my co-host here, Nick Kalikas, big thank you to 5 Dimes. This is the Premium Oddscast signing out. Happy betting.